If coveting is a sin, one team here might need to ask for forgiveness, sitting just outside the rankings and wanting what their opponent today has, a spot in the top 25. Welcome, everyone, to the home of the Oregon Ducks, the House of Loud, Autzen Stadium in Eugene, as we'll see a squad from the ACC, the USC Trojans, taking on the 5th-ranked team in the land, the Oregon Ducks. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, let's get this thing started. The Trojans will get us underway with the opening kickoff. Fielded in the end zone. It's Hill. Gets it out to the 20, about 5 yards short of where he'd be if he'd just taken a knee in the end zone. Power football with the run. Breaks into the open. They finally get to him, but what a play there to pick up the first down.
Defensively, you'll take the slow down. You'll take 3, 4, 5 yards of pop, but you can't give up the massive plays. You got to do a better job containing the football, making him run to guys, and get him on the ground. For goodness sakes, this guy is fast, I know, but defensively, we got to swarm to the football and get him on the ground.
Caught in the backfield, it's Moore. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few. The Ducks headed quickly to the line. Let's take just a second to talk about Oregon. They start the season in the top 5, prime position to make a run. But what's the biggest danger there, Jesse?
Well, they need to avoid complacency. Top 5 tells me you've got potential. You were a good team a year ago. You got a lot of talent. There's going to be a lot of really tough games on the schedule this year, David. So why not start early right here in week 1 and come shooting out of the cannon?
Shooting out of the cannon with a start that everybody gets to look at, see how good you are. And that first impression is really big, right? Like, you can start climbing quickly and really get a high marks in people's heads if you can start the season on a great note.
The Ducks have this offense rolling. Quarterback will keep it. Stop behind the line. He'll lose a yard. Guys, let's chat for a moment about Oregon. Every team needs those big dudes up front, and man, they got a mauler from the high school recruiting ranks. Big 4-star D lineman. David, what's his adjustment going to be like?
Well, you see the excitement from the fan base and the reaction. It's all over the place, and you understand why. Because just being able to have that size at that position, play the defensive line, is so important for these college teams. He'll fit right in.
And I know that play broke down. That is one the offense, I think, would like to have back because you practice these type of scramble situations all week long. Quarterback this time flush to his left. These receivers have to break their routes off and work with the QB to try to give him a place to go with the football. And that time just not able to give the QB anywhere to throw it.
Fires to the wideout. He's got an open man. They finally get him on the ground, but he's got an explosive play for the first down.
I love that from this offense. 3 is good. You're in field goal range, but now we're set up with 1st and goal because of great 3rd down execution by this offense. Stay aggressive. Even when you get in this part of the field, when everything shrinks and gets a little bit harder, you still want to be aggressive.
Guys, he's already got 44 yards rushing in the early going, and he is making an impact in the first game of the season. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Ducks!
What a luxury for an offense to have. The ability to set the tone on the ground, giving that guy the football time after time, making offense easy, being physical, and really setting the tone for this football game.
And the PAT makes it 7-0. So it's an 80-yard drive, and they capped it off with a 1-yard plunge. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. This is what we expected. This crowd ready to make its presence known. On the run, it's Sanders. Tackle is made at the 28 after a pickup of 3.
And I kind of like how the running back didn't mess around. Like, just get downhill when you see an opening. A lot of times they close so fast, man. Be decisive, stick your foot in the ground, pick up 3 to 4, and we are not going to complain.
They go to the ground. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
I love when defensive backs come up and they are physical and they stick their face in the fan and they aren't scared. Talking to the defensive coordinator coming into this game, he knew his DBs had to tackle well. They had to get those running backs on the ground. Great start on this first drive.
Dropping back, it's Mayava. Looking left. He makes a catch. Love to see these third down conversions on offense, and they're out to their own 39-yard line.
Well, after watching the other offense go down the field to score a touchdown, you know this guy's trying to lead his offense to do the exact same thing. That was a big third down. I know there's a lot of football left to play, but you're trying to establish confidence as early as possible. That last throw is really going to help out your team.
Fires to the big fella. And a pickup of 8 opens a world of opportunities on 2nd and 2. Just a quick rhythm throw there and really good use of the tight end.
Yeah, good use of the big fella. I mean, go through your progressions real quick. You can't find anything. Get the easy gain. Don't take a shot down the field all the time. Take those shots later, but take those easy, wide-open opportunities to get some positive chunks.
The give to the tailback. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple.
Yeah, you just feel like the running back's asking for redemption on that one. You know, 2nd and short, and you're giving him the football. He can't get the first himself. Now it's 3rd down. He's looking over on the sideline like, call it again, throw me the ball, I can go do this. It's never a good feeling for the running back in that situation.
And the defense had his hands full, but they finally wrestle him down short of the first down.
You know, this offensive line, they just got to hold their blocks a little bit longer. This offense likes to run their quarterback on design plays. And if you can just give him a little crease, he can take it the distance, but they couldn't get it done there.
That thing was down for a while, but the big bounce carried it into the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. They'll snap it from the 20 for the opening play of this drive. Moore to the air. Gets it out quickly. Crosses the 30. He's got a lane. He'll step out of bounds right in the 35-yard line, and maybe they've got something cooking.
And that's why QBs love their tight ends so much, right? Especially when they're athletic, because they make short throws turn into long gains. Because of his ability after the catch, it's so unique and special. He is dominant in this offense.
Making side adjustments here. To the air on first down. Hit hard as he released the ball on that first down pass, and it never had a chance.
What a play by the defender that time, because he's matched up one-on-one man coverage against an outstanding wide receiver, and it's the defender who makes the play. Really, really good position. He was up to the challenge. Be interesting to see if this quarterback goes his way again.
Looking to fire. Oh, he's going to try to get it all here. Catch inside the 30 and still running. He flips his field in an instant, and he's got him set up at the 20.
You got to love the rhythm this quarterback is in here on this drive, guys. 2 completions. He's seeing the safety rotation. That time, he saw the one-on-one matchup he wanted, took his shot. He is in a groove.
Out of the gun, the inside handoff to the running back. Dropped after a pickup of 4 down to the 16. Solid pickup of 4 on first down. It's 2nd and 6. Pulls and fires it complete to the right. They make the tackle just outside the end zone, but it'll be 1st and goal from the 1.
Get the big-time receiver involved early in the game. That's a huge key for this offense, no matter who they're playing against. But you can see, with his size, with his ability after the catch, this guy is a weapon, and he's putting his defense on alert early.
And the defense stuffs the run, and the ball will remain at the 2.
Well, and you see the sense of urgency now going up, right, David, on defense here, creating a negative play with their backs up against the wall.
Everybody's selling out to stop the run. Nice job being aggressive by this defense.
The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half. Can the D deny them on 2nd and goal? It's complete on the right side. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. They'll try to open the quarter by cashing in on this big opportunity deep in the red zone. Off play action. Looking for space to the left. And he's loose, and he'll take it to the house. Touchdown, Oregon!
I think you love starting the year off with some momentum, and that's exactly what this offense is doing. They're firing on all cylinders, defense doing their job as well. This team getting out the gates to start the season in great fashion.
And the extra point makes it 14-0. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Terrific showdown this week, guys. Let's take a look at what's going on. Florida State is down, but they are not out of it. Not there inside Doak Campbell Stadium, one of the more special places to watch a game in all of college football. It's a close one right now. They're trailing by 1 to Notre Dame. We'll circle back if anything big happens in this college football matchup.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. Dropping back, it's Mayava. Quickly out to the tight end. And a good job of coverage by that defense, just a short pickup. The modest gain on the completion really shows why you want to run the zone, make them execute, and rally to the ball.
100%. Zone eyes on the quarterback. I see him throw the football, break on it, go make tackles, live to fight another down.
Contact in the neutral zone leads to that penalty. Good news for the offense. Now on second down. Looking for a crease to the left. And the Trojans get enough to move the chains.
Man, I really love the way this guy looks when he's toting the rock. You think about all the high school kids out there who dream about one day donning a USC jersey and being the starting running back for the Trojans. There's so much competition, not just in the state of California, but nationally, to come to this school and be the guy, to be RB1. He's on the field for a reason. This guy is unique. He's got speed and vision. What a weapon.
Wants to throw on first down. Here comes the rush, and they've got it wrapped up at the 28.
Man, this defense is dominating all game long. They have been making this quarterback's life so difficult with their pass rush. They bring him down there for the sack. They're not giving anything up. They're leading this game by a lot. We're only in the second quarter, and this ain't going to change unless this offense can find a rhythm.
Back to pass, it's Mayava. Gonna take a shot. Pulls it in on the right. Defense caught out of position, and they get him down finally at the 38.
I know this isn't the start the offense wanted. They don't have any points so far in this game, but sometimes it just takes one explosive play to turn things around. And after that beautiful completion deep for the offense, that should give them a little confidence, a little momentum. They've now got us to be able to score points on this drive.
The Trojans are moving quickly down the field. Defense going to jam these receivers right off the line. Got a man. It's Lane.
I like the decision by the quarterback here. Just get the ball out of your hands, get it to your playmaker. A lot of times he'll dance and make even bigger plays than he did here, but it was still a positive game.
And the Trojans in a good spot here with second and short. They'll move the wide receiver. Going to take a shot on second and short. And that's going to fall to the ground incomplete. That was a physical matchup there. Third down coming.
We know this guy's a weapon, not just taking handoffs, but he can catch the ball too. That play, not so much. Got to do a better job reeling it in.
Bully ball on third and short. They'll make the stop about a yard short of the first down. Down and one, and they'll go for it. They want to run this quarterback. All down, but they'll move the sticks as he picks up the first down. Not even a moment of anxiety in that decision. 4th and 1, yep, we're going.
No, this isn't even a discussion in the headset. Like, this is automatic, autopilot. Like, 4th and 1, we're going for it every single time.
The Trojans will snap it on 1st and 10. Looking to throw, it's Mayava. And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete.
Really nice pressure by the defense, getting in there quickly, getting a hit on the quarterback, making the quarterback make a quick decision, and he makes the wrong decision. He throws into double coverage, but that's really because of the pressure in his face and the physical hit on his body.
What will they dial up on second and a long way to go? Gets the back moving. Second down, they'll go to the air. Grabbed behind the line, it's Sanders.
It's been a nice drive by this offense so far, and now this quarterback is faced with a critical third down in the red zone, trailing by a couple of possessions. If they're able to capitalize here, get this first down, score a touchdown on this drive, this game takes on a completely different feel. So this just feels like a massive moment in this game.
From the gun, he'll try to throw for it on third down, using the quick game. And they'll get him down inside the 5, but this offense powering toward a score.
Really nice play call there because the defense might have been thinking on 3rd and short in the red zone. They're probably going to run the football. Instead, they throw it, catch them off guard, and now they've got 1st and goal.
And the Trojans will try to put one on the board on 1st and goal. Defense a little too jumpy there, and they got into the neutral zone too soon. So the offense gets a little bit closer to the goal line after the penalty. And the defense was anxious to get off the ball quickly. Instead, it's just a little bit closer for the offense. Trying to run it in. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Trojans!
A big question mark for this offense coming into the year, guys. Who could score touchdowns? Who are going to be their biggest playmakers on offense? This guy scored in the first game. He's off to a great start in this one with that touchdown. This guy looks like the real deal.
Lining up for the PAT. And it's up and good as they draw just a touch closer. They put it in the end zone with a 12-play scoring drive and close the deal with a 3-yard touchdown run. They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. He'll bring it out. It's Green. Knocked down right at the 25, and I guess he breaks even, bringing it out of the end zone. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. From the gun, they'll try to impose their running game. And they didn't get it forward an inch. Defense wins the battle up front. And the Ducks want to crank the tempo. They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. He stopped for no gain again. Back-to-back runs, and they have nothing to show for it except facing a 3rd and long. Trying to pick up a first down. Moore will throw. Pocket breaking down. Grab behind the line. It's Hughes. They make the stop at the 26, and let's see if they bring out the punt team. Timeout called by the defense. It's their first of the half as they'll go to the sideline and try to make adjustments. The Ducks will line up to punt it away. The punter going to get his first work of the afternoon. Fields to punt, tries to help improve that field position. Coverage team was down there to corral him. They made the stop, and they'll mark it at the 39. Plenty of time to work, not any time to waste as they take over here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Wants to go up top on first down. Pressure coming. Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be 2nd down.
The offense just has not been able to find a way to get their rhythm going here in the first half. We just haven't seen it in the passing game. That was a really good example of it again. If they're going to score more points in the second half, they've got to make some adjustments here at halftime.
Good pickup there as he gets the first down, and they'll mark him at the 48.
Man, who says you can't run up the middle anymore, right? Everybody thinks, I got to make big plays. I got to go out, way out to the left, way out to the right, way out in space. Nope, right down the middle, nice blocking. How about the running back? You could tell the speed, the wheels, does a great job getting down the field, making a huge rushing play.
Caught in the backfield, it's Jordan. And they pick up just a few on that completion. Well, he made the grab, but the doors closed quickly after that.
And I like this. I want to find my running back, but man, he's got to do a little more damage after the catch. I need a stiff arm. I need a spin move. I need something where he can make that guy miss and pick up a bunch of yards and maybe get a big play out of it.
Throws for the tight end. Got him, and nobody's close. They get him corralled, but not until he's in the red zone. They'll mark it at the 14.
Man, if I'm a defense, I got to find a way to get some more pressure on the quarterback or disrupt their timing and their rhythm. I can't give them these big chunk plays through the air. I got to be maybe a little bit more aggressive or do something a little bit different.
The Trojans will have it 1st and 10. Tight end in motion, see how the D reacts. The secondary walks up on the line, showing press coverage. Here comes the heat. They get to him as he throws. Touchdown, Trojans. Snagged in the end zone to give them 6.
Great job of execution in the passing game. QB and his target on the exact same page. The extra point now is going to tie this thing up. And they've got some real momentum here heading in at halftime.
The extra point here would tie the game. And the extra point is good. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Boys, expect the unexpected in college football, and for some, this update could fall under that category. Washington notched a victory in enemy territory, and though it wasn't a dominant win, I'd argue any win away from Husky Stadium is worth its weight in gold. All that speculation all week, and now we know. But something tells me, fellas, we haven't heard the last of either of these teams.
Yeah, how about that? Sounds as if they had a good ball game there, Kevin. Thanks for the update. A little bit backed up to start this drive from their own 18-yard line. Moore to the air. He finds a dead spot in the middle. Inside the 30, down to the 29. Time is running short here in the first half. Looking to throw on 1st down. He uncorks a laser deep down the middle.
Well, the linebacker's playing zone coverage, and he's just watching the QB's eyes to see where he's going to go with the football, and the eyes take him to the ball. He's able to swat it away. Great play on defense.
So now it's 2nd and long. Misfired on the last play. They'll go back to the air. Working that wide receiver screen. He stopped at the 40, but it'll be a 1st down here late in the half. Clock stops momentarily for the 1st down. They'll hurry to the line. Looking downfield on 1st down. Back open in the middle. The offense calls timeout. It's the 2nd one they've used this half.
One of the things you love about this running back is not only can he run between the tackles, but he's also a weapon in this offense catching the football.
Working well behind the sticks on 2nd down. Back to pass. Catch in the middle. It's Hughes. And this one will be stopped for no gain. They're at their fastest tempo trying to get off this 3rd down play. From the gun, wants to pass. Fires it down the seam. Intercepted. Big play, stops the drive.
There were a lot of people really excited about what this guy could do. Some were saying he could be an All-American, and he's proving them right. That's already his 2nd interception early in this college football season. Offenses are going to figure it out. They're going to stop throwing this guy's way. You just get in trouble when you try.
Just enough time for one final play in this half. Running back searching for a hole. It's a runs like that that can really help your field position as they're up at the 35. The offense wastes no time getting the timeout call. After the productive 1st down play, it's 2nd and 6. someone move just a bit early, and the offense is going to pick up a penalty. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. Offense gets set for second down. Not willing to risk anything here, they'll just take a knee and head to the locker room, and we have ourselves a tie game. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update. The Ducks will kick it away to start the second half. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. And with this place rocking, the crowd forces a false start. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. From the gun, the running back looking for room. There he goes. He stopped just a chain link or two away from the first down and sets them up beautifully here. And the Trojans have their whole playbook open here on 2nd and inches. They feed him again. Drag down, but they'll move the sticks for a first down.
All right, guys, that's not a home run type play, but he did enough there to keep the chains moving.
They've got it at the 37. It's 1st and 10. Looking downfield, it's Mayava. Can't make the connection, and the defense putting on the heat and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, I don't know if the quarterback got confused on first down. He might have thought the defense was going to be in man coverage that time, but they were in zone. They fooled him and just didn't seem like he had his eyes in the right place, was forcing that ball to his intended target. The window way too small. The guy was not open, so that didn't have that chance to be complete.
Right back to the air on 2nd and 10. Finds his tight end.
Well, a nice completion there, finding the tight end. And what's so beautiful about that is while they didn't get the first, they were able to pick up enough yards now to make the third down manageable, really putting this offense in a good position.
The power of Autzen Stadium on full display. The house of loud is deafening on this third down. And you can give all the credit to the crowd for that one. Offense, no chance, and call for the false start. Decibels rising as the crowd gets behind this defense on third down. From the gun, wants to pass. Under fire. Those two not on the same page. It's incomplete.
Tie game here early in the second half, and offensively you're hoping to get something going, but after that incompletion, it kind of kills all of your momentum. This quarterback is really going to have to lock in here for the rest of this game if they're going to win.
Catch is made at the 15. lead.
And your defense made a big stop. You think you're getting the offense, the football back, but how about special teams coming through in a big way to take the lead for you, get some excitement, get some juice back on your side.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the extra point is true, and they're on top by 7. Man, you just can't put a price on having a guy like that back there to return punts, and he turned that one into a touchdown. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. To the air, it's Mayava. Moves around to clear up the vision. Not a lot of movement on that one. The defense in position.
Welcome to the frustrating reality of college football. Like, the guy at the quarterback spot, he can just do that. Pull it down, get positive yards, makes the defense have to account for him every single play.
Second down, they'll go to the air. He's looking deep. And that's going to be incomplete. Going for broke on second down, but third down's coming up.
Well, this defense was ready for go balls against this receiver and his speed. He's one of the fastest in the country. They knew this quarterback was going to try to take the top off the defense. That time they couldn't link up, but if you're on defense, just know they're going to try that play again.
He's looking to pass. Going back to the well, another deep ball. Can't make the connection on third down thanks to that tough, hard-nosed pass defense, and now it's fourth down. The Trojans will send out the punt unit. He couldn't find much running room there. Didn't get a lot of blocking, and he'll step out of bounds. They'll get this drive started from their own 26. Off play action on first down. Now he's going to break the pocket. Got out of trouble, got rid of it. A beautifully placed ball to the outside, and the toe drag for the big pickup.
And you see on that...
And wait just a second. The official's going to take a second look at this one. And the play will stand after the replay booth just does a little double checking to make sure. And the Ducks have a lot of options on second and inches. Quarterback making adjustments. Moore will throw. And the pass is incomplete, jarred loose by the hit.
Well, that's just a great play by the defender and great timing. It was the hit that forced that incompletion.
The Ducks come to the line trying to find a way to convert on third and very short. Tries to slither forward on the sneak.
Oftentimes when offenses get a first down, that's when they like to speed up the tempo. You're seeing them now go hurry up.
On the run, it's Hughes. And he is swarmed under a host of defenders there to make the stop.
Man, it's really hard to control the running game if you don't control the line of scrimmage. And how about the defensive line doing a great job attacking those guys up front, not open up lanes to run through. Nice job just nullifying that run altogether.
Got 3 on first down. It's 2nd and 7. Red pass, it's complete. And they'll get him down, but boy, did he put some dudes in the spin side. My goodness. The inside handoff. This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain. After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line 2nd and 7.
29 Philly. 2-9 Philly.
They'll go to the ground. And just wedges it ahead a bit before he's brought down.
The big fella in the middle, man. Those defensive tackles, they go such a long way in deciding and really stopping the other team's run game. Just forcing contact with those guards and those centers, owning the line of scrimmage, and getting running backs on the ground.
Now the play fake. Just a short pass to the tight end. Oh, he's got some space. Moving deeper into enemy territory. Move the chains. It's first down at the 27.
And that's why they got to keep running the football, man, because play action is going to be a big part of this game plan. You've got to get this tight end over the middle of the field vertically and give him an opportunity, because you just saw how dangerous he is after the catch.
Off the play fake on first down. Steps away. Got his man. So close to that end zone. He can almost taste it, but it'll be first and goal for this offense.
Well, how about the offense setting that play up? We've seen earlier in the game a couple shorter throws. They're just trying to suck those safeties closer to the line of scrimmage, anticipating that they would get an opportunity to take a shot. They called the perfect play at the perfect time right there.
Deflected at the goal line.
Well, it's a nice job by the quarterback getting the ball out of his hands quickly on that RPO. He saw something he liked, just not on the same page with his receiver.
Can the defense stop them again on 2nd and goal? Wide receiver comes in motion. Trying to slam in. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
Unsuccessful 2nd down, and now I'm immediately thinking, I got a little bit more than I want, so what are my pass plays? What am I going to get into here offensively to try to have success on 3rd down?
And now after getting knocked back, they'll try it again, this time from the 5 on 3rd and goal. They'll run play action. He took a hit as he threw it and couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete and 4th down's coming.
And that is the play this defense had to have. Did you look in the secondary right there? I mean, he was open, guys. Like, that would have been a touchdown, and this defense got to the quarterback, hit him as he's throwing the football, forced the errant pass, and dodged a bullet.
4th and goal from the 5, and the offense is staying out there. A gutsy move by this ball club. Quarterback may change this route. Moore to the air. Floating away. He's not going to get there. Stopped short on 4th down.
Great coverage on that 4th down play. Nice job blanketing the receiver out wide. The defense, you could tell, they knew they were going for it. They had a game plan. They get the big stop and turn it over to their offense.
They are pinned deep in their own territory. They'll snap it from their own 4 to start the drive. To the ground with the back. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
And that's exactly what you want to do as a defense, man. You want to get penetration and not let that tank get downhill. Because when he gets downhill at that weight and that size, it could be a problem for your defense. Get him before he gets started.
Listen to this crowd just shaking the girders of this place, trying to help their defense. Back to pass on 2nd down. Unloads to the wideout. Complete in the middle. Really good job making a play, getting it out to the 24 and moving those chains. That type of big play can even make Traveler perk up and take notice.
Hey, man, when I think about USC and just their pass, I just think about explosive. Explosive playmakers, making explosive plays down the field, finding those big wide receivers, making big plays.
Looking to throw on first down. Lets it fly. He's got it along the sideline. And they were looking for a chunk play, and they got it. The explosive picks up more than 30.
Well, this offense has shown you it doesn't take a lot of time for them to generate explosive plays through the air. Big completion on the previous play. They take another shot and hit it, and they have completely flipped the field.
Defense in press coverage. They go back to work in the final period of this one. Motion from the wide receiver. Back to pass, it's Mayava. Here's the pressure. Hit as he throws. Pick off. What a play by this defense. Didn't really get a chance to get started on that return, but he has set him up at the 41-yard line. First snap of this drive comes from their own 41. A designed run for the quarterback. And he's able to shed one tackle, but still just a very short gain.
You know, I really like this QB running the football because I know he's got a lot of speed, but he's not the biggest guy in the world. So he's not going to be able to break a lot of tackles. You really got to do a good job of trying to scheme ways to get him out in more space.
He might want another play. Off the play fake. Moving away from pressure. He's got the tight end. Just carving up this defense and getting it down to the 24. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. That big play flipped the field. Now they go to work from just outside the red zone. To the air on first down. Finds his big tight end. The defense wouldn't let him loose, and even though it's a completion, they lost yardage.
It's a really nice job by the defense staying disciplined there. The quarterback's trying to get it out on the right side. As soon as he makes the catch, though, down he goes. Really good job with the tackle.
The Ducks with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. Moore will throw. Oh, they're after him. Can't make the connection. The pressure there caused the missed timing.
And we need more of this from this defense, man. They have let this guy have too much time to throw the football. They haven't gotten that jersey dirty yet, haven't sacked him. But this is just as good as a sack. Getting to him, hitting him, letting him feel the physicality of this game, and not letting him feel comfortable.
Looking for space. It's Hill. They knock him down right at the 20-yard line. Not enough for the first down, but maybe they'll keep the offense on the field. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Now this is rolling the dice, or perhaps they've gone outside their head. They're already up. Boy, this could really backfire if they don't convert on fourth down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Incomplete pass, and the defense comes up big, and they take over.
You know, offensively in that situation, fourth down, you're throwing for it. Everything has to go right, or someone just needs to be able to make a play to keep the drive alive. They couldn't get it done, and now the offense is coming off the field.
A lot of field in front of them as they open this possession from their own 20. Wants to throw on first down. Oh, he's going to take a shot at the DB. Snatches it on the run. They bring him down, but the big play will move the sticks.
Yeah, and the quarterback knew exactly where he wanted to go with the football, had time, spins the ball deep. Nice job by this offense, understanding what the defense is giving them and creating the explosive play.
See if they can turn this drive into points. They've got it 1st and 10 at the 50. From the gun, running back on the move. Not a whole lot of room there. 3 yards maybe, 2nd and 7.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
Back to throw, it's Mayava. Bringing the heat. Catch in the middle, it's Lemon. And they reacted well to the completion, but it was too late to keep them from getting the 1st down.
When these wide receivers work the middle of the field, so much of this is feel. Understanding where the holes are in the zone or understanding how to get leverage on a man. And these wide receivers are dangerous nowadays because they do it so fast and see that so quick and make those plays over the middle.
Looking for room, it's Jordan. He breaks the tackle. They finally get him stopped, and this veteran junior running back comes up with a nice play.
Wow, 4 plays on this drive by the offense. They already got 3 first downs. We knew they had a lot of playmakers coming into this game, and they're showing that right now. This defense is going to have to make a play at some point here and stop the bleeding.
To the ground, he's got it again. Drives into the defense, and they get him down after a pickup of 3 to the 16. Solid pickup of 4 on 1st down. It's 2nd and 6. Wants to go up top. And the rush will get to him at the 25.
And I think this offense is going to start to get a little frustrated. Back-to-back drives, they've had some success, but they find a way to shoot themselves in the foot. And right here, they don't protect their guy. And now, 3rd and long situation, you know the pass rushers are coming. They know it's a pass. You've got to be smart here with this play call.
On 3rd and long, he's going to have to turn one loose downfield. And they almost came up with that pick in the end zone. What a stop that would have been. It's great for this quarterback to take shots down the field, but you just don't want it to feel like a give-up or a chuck it up and hope kind of play.
And I think understanding the situation, now I'm on defense, right? If they're going to take shots down the field, maybe I'm a little bit more aggressive with my blitz, understanding that everything's going to take a little bit more time to develop if they're going to take those deep shots.
Trailing by a possession, they need to keep the ball. They'll try to convert on 4th down. Timeout called by the defense. It's their 1st of the half as they'll make some adjustments. And here we go, down the score. They'll go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. Fires deep toward the end zone. Fires into traffic, picked off. Taking it the other way. He's at the 40, the 20, the inside, sprinting all the way. He'll take it to the house, but there is a flag on the field. So the touchdown will stand. Penalty on the defense waved off, and the points go on the board. They'll try to tack one more on their score. And the extra point is true, and they have a 2-touchdown lead, up 14 in the fourth. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
A lot of eyeballs on your game, guys, and a few on this interesting matchup as well. Florida State is currently up big right now in a game they'll be talking about in Tallahassee for some time. They're up by 17 over Notre Dame. We'll circle back if anything big happens you need to know about.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. Starts from their own 25-yard line. Looking to pass. It's Mayava. Oh, and he just dropped it. So close to his second interception of the game. Instead, it'll be second down.
And man, did the defense just miss an opportunity that they could have turned the lights out with the lead. Get the football back here. Missed opportunity. Maybe this offense now can take advantage and swing some momentum in this football game.
Looking for a crease. It's Jordan. Turning it on. He's out of bounds a little bit short of the 40-yard line. Let's mark it at the 38, and the running game doing work.
And running backs are so good, so talented, so elusive. You see nowadays they really have the ability to make you miss, run you over. Unbelievable effort. Nice job. You keep that going, it's going to be hard to stop.
Now he's going to glide away from pressure. Hit hard just as he released it on first down and just couldn't get it to the receiver.
And this is a tough time for this offense because you're in passing mode. You're in comeback mode, and where's that? The defense knows that. Like, they're pinning their ears back. They're coming after the quarterback. And you've already struggled protecting your guy today and creating those explosive plays. This offense is going to have to buckle up and really protect their guy up front.
On second down, he'll try to make the connection this time. And the rush will get to him at the 25.
How nice is it as a defense when you can drop 7 guys in a coverage, only rush 4, and still get home? That makes you feel good if you're the D coordinator.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On third and long, hoping to throw beyond the sticks. And this is dropped. Incomplete pass. He had a huge gain in his fingers, and he couldn't hold on.
You know, I feel for this offense, if they're going to get back in the game, I don't know if they're going to be able to do it with chunk plays. They're going to have to be methodical and generate some first downs and march down the field.
And the Trojans will try to pin them back with the punt. Timeout is called, and it's the defense wanting to make sure that everyone's on the same page for this big down. The Trojans will punt it away on fourth down. They'll get down and put a stop to this return. They'll mark it at the 32. Looks as if they didn't get it off in time. It'll be a delay of game. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. Offense in a bunch formation. He wants to change this route. Moore to the air. Dances away. Fires on the move. Just a hair too much on it from this big-arm sophomore quarterback.
And he finally missed one, right? I mean, he's been pretty hot, right? 5 passes in a row. He's been moving the ball around, different platforms, different receivers. Just done a really good job spreading the ball around, and he's human. He finally missed.
They'll keep it on the ground to keep this clock moving. And they'll stop him after a minimal pickup. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. And the Ducks need their binoculars to find that line to gain here on 3rd down. Wide receiver going in motion. On 3rd and long, a check down would be the last resort. He's going to fire to the left. Makes a catch at the 20. What a play to get it inside the red zone, and they are set up at the 17.
And that is such an accurate throw. It's one thing to do it from the pocket when you have your feet set underneath you, but when you can get outside, off schedule, on the move, and throw a dart like that, that is just big time, and the offense gets a huge explosive play.
They just changed the dynamic of this possession in a heartbeat, and now it's 1st and 10 from inside the red zone. Grabbed in the backfield. It's Whittington. And the defense had that one well covered. Just a short game there.
This defense is going to have to be careful. Not only do they have to worry about this guy running the football, but they've got to keep their eye on him when he runs routes, too. He is a versatile back.
After picking up a couple at 2nd and 8. Unloads quickly. He steps out of bounds, but he's got enough for a 1st down. Game is all but decided. Why not try to get another one if you can? That's part of the fun, right? Touchdown, Oregon! And they take it in for 6 more points. That one might have put the finishing touches on this game.
This one is over. Game, set, match. The defense had a chance to maybe kind of keep their team in it, but the offense said, take it to the locker room.
To attempt to try. Moore will. They fake it. The kicker's looking to pass. And he was drilled just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
That keeps the score. Oregon 34, USC 14.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And a special teams miscue as the kickoff goes out of bounds. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. Looking for room. It's Jordan. You'll take this every time. 5 yards on the 1st down play.
Man, it's nice when you can depend on your big boys up front to make a lane, and you get 5 or 6 yards. You get 5 or 6 yards a pop. You move the ball down the field easily, and more importantly, can get this defense to be more aggressive, to bring DBs closer to the line of scrimmage, and then that might open up some big plays down the field.
With the clock running, this should be the final play. We sensed a great deal of confidence, almost a smugness from this coaching staff. And these guys on the field, it's as if they knew they were going to win.
Yeah, playing with a bit of a chip on their shoulder, and I think they really felt like they had a real good game plan offensively and defensively coming into this one, David. There were some matchups on the field they thought they could exploit. We saw that happen here.
No doubt. Good job by this coaching staff, understanding who's out there to make plays, feeding them the football, offense, defense, special teams, all working together to get it done.
Now we'll put the wrap on things from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis. You've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.